So welcome to Rabat. We're at the walled city of Rabat, and we're literally parked against the wall. All the defences come around there, follow the way around, and that's where we're going to go into. The Medina is supposed to be really special in Rabat, and that's part of the reason for coming here. There are a couple of other motorhomes. We've paid our 80 dinar to stop the night. Sorry, you're right, 80 dirham, thank you, to stop the night. A little bit more than normal, however this is a city, so it's got to be expected. And we've got the beach over to our right hand side and all the cafes, and on the way in here we went through a really like westernized area with a massive military camp. There must have been some VIP visiting because they're all dressed in their finest gear.
Right next to the airport.
Was it next to the airport, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, next to the airport. So what we're doing now is we've just put the alarm on the motorhome, put the cameras on, opened the sunroof, the roof lights, and paid the man. I took a picture of me paying the man. That it's advised that you do that in the cities. It's just that the staff change over, and you know, tomorrow they could say you haven't paid. So I took a photograph of me handing the money over, which is as good as we're going to get, really. So now we walk into a supermarket. We need to restock on some supplies, and then we'll probably go into the Medina and have a walk around. We're supposed to bounce on tomorrow to Casablanca, but we'll see how that goes. And then once we're at Casablanca, we're there for 2 days, so that'll be a new, because we've only stopped for 1 day in the past, one non-travel day. So following Google Maps to the nearest mini mark, then we'll get there, do some shopping, bring it back here, then walk back into the Medina, which is just inside these walls, I'm led to believe. Look at that old dhow over there. This is really something special, isn't it? And again, this is that the difference between old and new. You come in here, you come to Rabat, it's all very clean and very tidy and well kept.
Full of tourism.
Full of tourists, yeah. But you go to where we've just come from, and you see the other side of Morocco, the poor side. Right, I'm going to sign off now, save a bit of battery, and then I'll get back to you later. So this is basically the Medina in Rabat. It's not all like this. Some of it's quite open. We just got into like an open square that served fish. Basically all the restaurants serve fish. There's some beautiful stuff in here. Look at that.
Wood carving.
Yeah.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, really nice. So I'm not quite sure how long I'm going to get away with this camera without someone saying you owe me money for taking my picture. But I'll have a walk around up here. Wow, look at that. All these alleyways all full. Well, it's typical souk, or as they call them in Morocco, Medina. It's an overload for the senses, actually. So much around. And you get some really nice smells of people walking by that have made an effort, and some that are just rather earthy, to say the least. Look at them, twinkling rings. They look nice, but they might turn green on your finger within 3 or 4 weeks. You don't know, do you? Lots of cats around, lots of food around. Was it? Lots of food around, lots of cats around. lots of activity, and this is out of season, so this is quiet. It's supposed to be, we just got a taxi basically to the supermarket to get some supplies. We didn't get many because the supermarket was not very good, and on the way back we went around about the place to get back to the motorhome. I'm not quite sure where I'm going with this, but he said Medina was massive. We knew that already because that's one of the reasons to come up for Rabat, is this, just to see the Medina and also just the walls and just be part of Rabat for a night. Like I say, we're only here for a night, so we'll bounce on to Casablanca tomorrow. I think that's enough of that. I've got away with this filming without being asked for money, so I'm going to sign off.
But this is the sea, this is an inlet.
Yeah, this is an inlet. So that's the city of Sale over the other side. You can see it's also attempted a wall city as well. All these posh flats on the side of the river, and then the cafes in there. But this is just outside the Medina. We've just left the Medina, which is in those steps there, up the ramp and then in through that gap there. It's just absolute mayhem. It's like a, I don't know, it messes with your senses because there's so much happening in there. People saying come this way and do that and look at this and you must buy that. But you know, when you've come across it once or twice, you learn how to just be polite and say no thank you, look to the floor and just walk away. Right, I think it's, hopefully, if there's space, because it looks busy, hopefully we can get a beer here. It's quite hard to come across beer in Morocco, but we shall try, and then we will do something else. Front gate is wide open, guarded by these two chaps here on horseback. I'm going to show you them now. Just walk past them, I can always walk back. But you can see these two chaps here, look. Very smart. On their horses. Lovely. Very smart. This is Hassan V's tower. I might have said Mohammed, but it's not. It's Hassan V. Another one of those must-sees in Rabat. Should we walk up there? Lots of people walking this way, which means there's probably something to see.
I think it's a church, mate.
Is it a church? They look like, they don't see the camera then, do they? Maybe you've got to be dressed authentically as well, because these guys are all covered up. Get a nice picture from up there though. Oh, it's warm now. Real sun trap round here. Yeah. Imagine the summer, it's absolutely red as up here. Very smart young man there. I wonder how they march. What if they march straight-legged, like the Turks? Maybe they don't. He looks smart. I don't really want to go in that church with this camera. I don't want to be disrespectful, so I'm going to stay out here. Just taking an overview, really. I can imagine this was like an ancient site. All these pillars, obviously, you know, knocked down over time, but the pillars still remain. You can see the wall in the distance there, actually, over the two guys with the feathers on their heads. is a very ancient town, Rabat. Ancient in many ways, with the Medina and the tower and the architecture in some of the places, but ultra modern in others. It's one of the 5 royal cities in Morocco, and you can definitely tell, you know, when we were driving in, it was so well kept. There's, like I said, there's a huge army camp on the right hand side, or military base, and there was 3 denominations of either, you know, 3 regimental people on guard at each point every 100 meters. So there's a guy from the army, guy from the something else, and a guy from something else. As we go out of one of the other doors to the tomb that we've just been in, you see the opera house. I think it's 18,000 people, the taxi driver was saying that it takes. And then you get the tower. I'm not quite sure what it is, but the tower over there. We mistook it for the Hassan Tower, so. And then we unpicked ourselves and thought, no, that can't be clearly the Hassan Tower. That's some kind of business tower over there. Just remarking about these Moroccan doors. There's something else, really are. I mean, the detail that goes into all of them. If you walked up and down the Medina or the souk or anywhere in Morocco, as far as Tangiers, the amount of detail that goes in the making of the door, I mean, bloody hell. The door's probably worth more than the house. It'd look a bit out of place in our boot room back in Bristol, but it definitely adds some grandeur to this entrance. I guess that this should be super busy in the summer. I mean, right now there's a few tourists, including us. There's a lot of locals walking around as well. Oh, here's more guards. Just like the Tower of London, really. This time they're in the sun, which is not a good thing for them. Steady on, steady. No, don't touch it. Beautiful. Yeah, really beautiful. So this is the view from the 5-star hotel bar that we've just walked in on. As you go around through town, it just shows you an overview of the city. Well, that's sail actually across the water. And that goes on to the opera house. And this is the hotel we've just gate crashed. They don't do alcohol very well in loads of places in Morocco, so if you need a beer, you've got to basically find a hotel, which is what we've done. And then you walk in like you own it, and no one asks any questions. All very British.